When I bought my small 2-story home on Oak Ridge Lane, I was only looking for peace. After 15 years in the army and one long, bitter divorce, peace was something I'd almost forgotten how to spell. The cul-de-sac looked calm enough, flower beds trimmed to perfection, sidewalks lined with identical mailboxes, and the faint smell of barbecues on weekends. It was the kind of place where everyone smiled, but not everyone meant it. I didn't know it then, but behind all that neatness was a storm waiting for me. The first time I met Karen, she was already halfway up my driveway with a clipboard in hand. Her posture was stiff, her hair pinned tight, her lips pursed as if smiling might cost her something. "You're new here," she said, not as a welcome but as a warning. I smiled politely and said, "Just moved in last week." She nodded sharply. "I'm the head of the HOA. We have certain rules: lawn length, trash placement, and pets." Her gaze shifted to Rex, my retired canine German Shepherd sitting quietly on the porch. Rex was calm, loyal, and far better at reading people than I ever was. "That dog looks dangerous," she said. "We don't allow aggressive breeds." I chuckled softly. "He's not dangerous, ma'am. He's a decorated service dog. Saved lives overseas." Karen's eyes narrowed. "Rules are rules. That was all. No warmth, no kindness, just rules." I didn't argue. I had fought enough battles in my life. This one wasn't worth it. Or so I thought. Over the next few weeks, she became a constant presence. Always watching, always noting. I'd catch glimpses of her taking photos from her window whenever Rex barked at a passing squirrel or delivery driver. She filed complaints about noise disturbances, unauthorized lawn ornaments, and unapproved fence color. It almost became laughable, but I ignored her. I had seen worse people in uniform and survived. A neighbor once told me, "Karen's been like this for years. She means well, but she doesn't know how to show it." I didn't believe that. Not yet. Then came the day everything changed. It was a warm Sunday afternoon, and I drove to the next town to visit my sister for her birthday. Rex stayed home. He was used to it. I left him food, water, and a calm playlist playing softly through the speakers. He usually slept near the front door when I was gone. Around mid-afternoon, my neighbor Tom saw something unusual. Karen was pacing on my porch, phone in hand, peering through the windows. Then she opened the gate and walked toward the backyard. No one thought much of it at first. She was the HOA president, after all, but Tom said something about her eyes didn't look right. Determined, nervous, like she was about to do something she shouldn't. When I got home later that evening, my gut twisted the moment I saw the front door slightly ajar. My instincts sharpened instantly, years of training kicked in. I pushed the door open slowly. "Rex," I called out. A deep bark echoed from the living room. I stepped inside and froze. The room looked like chaos, furniture pushed aside, a vase shattered on the floor. Then I saw her, Karen, sitting on my couch, clutching her wrist, her eyes red and wide. Rex stood a few feet away, still and alert, guarding her. "What the hell happened?" I demanded. She flinched. "He attacked me," she cried. I knelt beside Rex. He hadn't bitten her, not a single mark on him. His body language said everything. He hadn't attacked, he'd cornered. I turned back to her. "You broke into my house. I thought you were abusing him," she stammered. "He barked and cried yesterday, and I filed a report, but no one came. I thought he was trapped. I was trying to help." I blinked in disbelief. "You broke into a veteran's home because you thought his service dog was being mistreated." Her lip trembled. "I didn't mean to cause trouble. I just didn't want him to die." I sighed. "Rex, sit." He obeyed instantly. Karen's expression shifted, fear to astonishment. "He listens," she whispered. "He's trained to protect," I said quietly. "And he knew you didn't belong here." Tom must have seen me return because minutes later, the police showed up. Karen told them everything. Trespassing, the panic, the fall that bruised her wrist. The officers asked if I wanted to press charges. I looked at her, shaken, humiliated, small. For a moment, I wanted to say yes. She'd violated my home, my peace. But something about the tears in her eyes stopped me. "No," I said finally. "She made a mistake." Karen looked up, stunned. "You're not pressing charges." "No. You thought you were saving someone. You just didn't think it through." The officer nodded, and they left. Karen did too, her shoulders shaking as she walked away. Days turned into weeks. No one notices. No confrontations. The silence was almost unsettling. Then one afternoon, I found a letter in my mailbox. The handwriting was shaky but neat. "I'm sorry for everything. I let fear make me cruel. Your dog protected me better than I deserved, Karen." I read it twice, folded it, and placed it on my mantle beside Rex's photo. I didn't reply. Sometimes silence is enough. Months later, something unexpected happened. I was loading groceries into my truck when I heard shouting, a child screaming. I looked up and saw a golden retriever darting across the street toward speeding cars. Without thinking, I dropped the bags and ran. But before I could reach it, someone else did. Karen. She sprinted barefoot, grabbed the dog's collar, and fell hard onto the grass as a car whooshed by inches away. She held the dog tightly, her chest heaving, tears streaming. The little boy ran to her, crying, hugging both her and his dog. Karen laughed through her tears. I walked over. "You okay?" I asked. She looked up, still catching her breath. "Guess I owed a dog one," she said with a shaky smile. For the first time since I met her, I saw something human in her eyes, something fragile and kind. After that, things started to change. Slowly, carefully, she began greeting me in passing, sometimes even waving. One afternoon she appeared at my door holding a small bag of dog treats. "For Rex," she said softly. I figured I should apologize properly. Rex sniffed the treats, tail wagging, and gently licked her hand. Karen smiled through nervous laughter. "So he forgives me too." "He forgave you before I did," I said, half joking. Her smile faded to something sincere. "I didn't realize how lonely I'd become," she said. "After my husband died, I just clung to the rules. They gave me a sense of control." I nodded. "We all try to hold on to something after loss," I said quietly. "But sometimes what we grab hurts us more." She nodded, tears forming. "Your dog didn't bite me that day. He just barked. I think he knew I wasn't bad. Just lost. He's good at sensing things," I said. "Better than most people." That conversation became the start of an unlikely friendship. Karen changed. The HOA changed. Suddenly, there were community barbecues, dog-friendly events, even fundraisers for veterans and local shelters. She asked me to bring Rex to one of them. When she took the stage to speak, her voice trembled. "Sometimes," she said, "the people we fear the most are the ones who end up showing us the meaning of kindness. Sometimes the loudest bark belongs to the gentlest soul." The crowd applauded. Rex barked once, almost as if he knew. Karen smiled, holding back tears. Afterward, she handed me a small plaque she'd made herself, for Rex, the neighborhood hero. It was rough, hand-carved, imperfect. But it meant more than any medal I'd earned. Time passed, and life in Oak Ridge Lane became something I'd never expected, peaceful, genuine, human. Karen would sometimes stop by for coffee, talk about her husband, or ask about my army days. She even adopted a small rescue dog named Bailey, saying she finally understood what it meant to have a companion that loves without judgment. Rex adored Bailey. Watching them play together in the yard felt like watching the world heal a little at a time. One morning, after 12 good years together, Rex didn't wake up. He had passed quietly in his sleep, just like he deserved. I buried him under the oak tree in my backyard, the one he used to nap beneath every afternoon. Karen was the first one to knock on my door. She didn't say anything, just hugged me tightly and placed a small bouquet of white daisies beside his photo. "I never liked dogs before," she whispered, her voice breaking. "Now I can't imagine life without them." I couldn't reply. My throat closed up, and for the first time in years, I let the tears fall. But they weren't tears of loss, they were tears of gratitude. Karen stayed for a while, sitting quietly on the porch with me as the sun set. No rules, no HOA talk, no walls between us, just two people who had once feared each other, now sharing a silence that felt like peace. Before she left, she said something I'll never forget. "Rex didn't just protect your house," she said softly. "He protected me from becoming someone I couldn't live with." I nodded. He had that effect on people. As the months went by, I watched Karen continue to grow. She stepped down as HOA president, started volunteering at a local animal rescue, and spent her weekends helping veterans with therapy dogs. People began to love her. Not the strict, clipboard carrying Karen, but the real one, the one who finally let go of her fear. And every time I saw her smile at Bailey, I saw a reflection of Rex in her eyes. It reminded me that even the most broken people can find redemption if someone, or something, gives them a second chance. The woman who once broke into my home ended up breaking open her own heart. And I realized that sometimes the people we think are our enemies are just mirrors, showing us the parts of ourselves we've forgotten to heal. Karen wasn't evil, she was lonely. She wasn't cruel, she was scared. And all it took to bring her back was a loyal dog who refused to bite. Kindness doesn't make you weak. Forgiveness doesn't erase what happened, it transforms it. It turns pain into purpose, fear into empathy, and strangers into family. In the end, it wasn't the rules or punishments that changed Karen. It was love, quiet, patient, unconditional love, from a dog who never stopped believing in goodness.